Hola lovely. So I figured since I have the house to myself right now and the kids are in bed, I would make a quick little video. So I figured I would like start a series of videos. I don't know when I'm going to post them or whatnot, but I figured I would start telling you some of my paranormal experiences. I think I've made a couple paranormal videos in the past that I've told about some of my experiences, but I'm not sure exactly what I got into, so I'm gonna go ahead and like start from the first house I lived in. It was a big old house, and it was basically on a farmland. It was in the middle of nowhere pretty much. So anyways, there was a history in the house that a little girl had been locked in the attic and died up there because they couldn't find her. Whether that story is true or not, I have no idea. I was creeped out of the basement, but of course I was little when I heard this story. So yeah, I'm not sure if that one's true or not, but to me it just seems like, okay, if she was locked in the attic, how come they didn't know? But who knows? So anyways, and like, how did she get locked up in the attic? Like, did she fall asleep? What? I don't know. So anyways, that house, I used to hear a lot of noises. There was actually the barn, and in that barn there was a name of a horse spray painted on the wall, and it said Patches. And it was really weird because like during the full moon you would hear horse hooves and you would see a horse running through the backyard, which was really strange. There was some history in that. We did dig up an arrowhead in that yard. I would have to find it. I don't know exactly where it's at, but I do have it still. There was a arrowhead that we dug up, and then there was a an opal that we had dug up in the ground. There was probably a lot more that we could have found, and there was also a ton of old books in that house. When we moved in, there was like a ton of old books, like super old. There was lots of little entryways and like hidden closet entryways and all sorts of crazy stuff in that house. There was a stain in the upstairs that there was a stain on the carpet that no matter how many times we tried to scrub it out, it would always come back. I'm not exactly sure what the stain was, but it was like a brownish color in the carpet upstairs. There was actually an old wishing well that was also in the front yard that had like, it was all in like cobblestone and concrete, and it was pretty creepy. I remember hearing children running around the house. Now, so where was I at? I would hear like little kids running around. Like, my family said that they didn't hear it, but I always heard it when I was little. I would like play with the little Indian kids that used to run around the house. It was really, really crazy. Like, to me, it was just another day. These were my little friends that would come play with me at night. My mom used to yell and stomp on the floor when me and my brother would get up to and play together, and it was crazy. There was just a lot of old creakiness to that house. Not a lot of whole like big apparition things, and I wasn't too frightened. Anyways, you would hear stuff in the attic. We never used the attic. The attic creeped us out. I think the only thing my parents maybe used the attic for was to hold onto our Christmas presents or something. I don't know. Now, the basement of that house was extremely extremely freaky. It had those open stairs, you know, the ones where you walk down and in between every step is an opening. And there was like this opening underneath those stairs. So every time, why is it trying to focus down there? I don't know. But every time I would go down those stairs, I swear I felt like I was being watched, and a couple of times it felt like somebody was trying to touch me. There was a room off of the side of the stairs, this little tiny room, and it petrified me. I refused to go in that room. Unless I had like somebody with me, I wouldn't go in that room. I would definitely not go in that basement in the dark. It terrified me. There was a lot of old things in that basement. I think there was like an old telescope. There was like old toys and all sorts of fun stuff down there, but I didn't like going down there by myself. It really creeped me out. There's a lot of night terrors in that house. Like, I was sick a lot in that house. We were very sick. I spent a lot of my time not in the house. I didn't want to be in the house. But yeah, it was just a very, very old, creepy house that I did see, like I said, it sounded like horses, and I look out and there was a white horse. Also, like, I remember, well, let's go to another house, because I mean, there's like stories that are just in different places. There was another house that I lived in. I think it was the house, a couple houses after that. Let me think. What happened? We moved into this house, and it was just really super duper creepy. It was very, very tiny. It was very tiny. And the heater would turn up all by itself. It would turn down by itself. We would hear knocking. There would be cabinets slamming. There was a really dark figure that was very, very tall that would stand in the corner of my bedroom and stare at me. It got to the point where I was so scared for me that I literally started sleeping on the couch. 'Cause I just couldn't. And then it got to the point where I literally took my mattress off my bed and started putting it in the living room, because I just could not sleep in that bedroom anymore. It terrified me. This big black figure would stand in the corner and just terrified me. Also, I had a little teddy bear that I used to put on my dresser that my boyfriend had gotten me. I would put this little teddy bear on the dresser every night, and every morning it would be in the other bedroom behind the bedroom door. And that just was like really obnoxious. And it got to the point where I was like, okay, this is getting annoying, because every time I put my thing there, I got so ticked off. And I hated being in that house by myself because it just creeped me out. So I got to the point where I decided that I was going to go purchase a Ouija board. Now, mind you, okay, the first house I lived in, I messed with a Ouija board, and it gave me some weird demonic name, and it literally told me to kill. I boxed that sucker up and we got rid of it. We never touched it again. So I went and purchased another Ouija board when I lived at this house, because I'd gotten to the point where I was just sick of it. I was literally just sick of all this stuff going on. So I bought a Ouija board and decided that we were going to try and contact whatever was in the house. I did it in the living room first, and I had gotten a man, a 54-year-old man, and his name was Carl. Anyways, what was I saying? I contacted a 54-year-old man in my living room. His name said was Carl. and he said that I asked him how he died, and he said breathing. So I took it as he couldn't breathe or something like that. I don't know. So then I went into my bedroom, where I contacted a 24-year-old man named Michael. Michael was very, very stubborn and did not want to speak to me. And I asked him if there was a child in the house and who was playing with my teddy bear. And he said yes, and 4 years old on the board. So I was like, okay. So I was like, okay, do you mind if we speak to her? And it just said no, and then it said goodbye. And I was like, okay, never mind. So I later on decided to look up some stuff and talk to some of the neighbors, and they had actually told me that a family had died, a grandfather and his son and his granddaughter had died in that house of, I believe it was a gas leak there was a story of gas leak, and then there was a story of smoke inhalation. So I'm not sure of which it happened, but there was a family of 3 that died in that house, which was really, really creepy. And the profile box keeps focusing over here, and I don't know why, but it's really creeping me out. So anyways, I eventually moved out of that house, and I moved in with John. And our first condo was fine, nothing happened, whatever. So the next house I lived in, I moved here, and of course, you know, stupid little thumps, bumps, no biggie. The same old, thumps, bumps, no biggie. I lived in that room that I had lived in when I moved back here again. So we moved in here, and then we moved to South Carolina, where I had lived with my father. And I remember one night getting up, and I had literally seen a man's penny loafers around the corner, like the front of his penny loafers. Freaked me out. So I asked my stepmom if there was anything creepy in that house. And she indeed told me that she had noticed a man in penny loafers wandering around the house. So that freaked me out, because I didn't even tell her like what I saw. I just told her I felt there was something in the house. So after that house, I moved into my first trailer. I moved into that trailer, and in that trailer, there was some creepy stuff that happened in that house that trailer as well. In that trailer, I remember I was laying in bed, and my nephew was there, and my husband was just leaving for work. I heard him leave, and I dozed back off, and then I woke up to somebody opening my door and slamming it shut, walking down the hallway, going into the bathroom, coming out, and then walking out of the house. So I thought, okay, John must have came back and picked up my nephew. Well, then I got up later and talked to my nephew, and I asked him why he was there. I thought he would want to work with John, and he's like, no, but John did come back. And I was like, what do you mean he came back? He's like, well, I heard him go into your room, and I was like, I thought that was you. And he's like, no. So there was footsteps. Also, there was, my dog would stare at the wall, and one night I decided to snap pictures on my digital camera, and I caught an orb where she was staring. No, I don't have that picture anymore. I don't know what happened to it. It's disappeared. So then, let's see. Moved out of that house, moved into our next trailer. It was like a trailer, double wide, big trailer that had been added on to a house to make it like a house. And I remember I was just very uncomfortable about that room. Logan's toys would actually go off by themselves all the time. His one toy would actually come out of the room and it would be in the living room by itself. Now, mind you, Logan at this point was still in a playpen or a bassinet and wasn't playing with his toys, but for some reason this toy just kept coming out. I remember telling John, because at that point we had just moved in. This was actually when I was still pregnant. We had just moved in and we were laying on the air mattress in the dining room because our bedroom was still disarray and we needed to do a lot of work to it. We were laying on the air mattress and I was telling John how I felt in the house, that I didn't feel comfortable, and he, being drunk, decided to taunt whatever was in the house, and I had been snapping pictures. He started taunting whatever was in the house, and the cameras flashed. And now, mind you, this is a brand new digital camera because the other camera broke. It flashed error and deleted every picture off of that camera. So it was uncomfortable, but there wasn't too much stuff. Just like I said, the toys and just an uncomfortable, heavy feeling in that house. So then we moved into our final house, and this is the house that I told a lot of you about. I had told you guys a lot of the stories that were going on in the house when I first really got into my YouTube channel. We saw things, we felt things. I had actually had one of the kids' balls thrown at me while I was sleeping when everybody else in the house was sleeping. I had some deep male voice yell, "Get out," in my ear and scared the living bejesus out of me. I actually saw a little girl standing in my hallway and scared the bejesus out of me again. I would feel like somebody was standing in the hallway staring into my bedroom. I refused to sleep with the closet door open because I felt like somebody was in the closet. I could not go in the garage if the lights were off. The radio would turn the volume up and down in the garage and it would shut itself off for no reason. It would change channels, it would do all sorts of stuff, and in the house the radio would change channels all the time. It would just change channel and irritate the crap out of me. I would see shadows, I heard things, things were being thrown, knocked down. Logan would wake up in the middle of the night laughing his butt off, saying the man was tickling him. There was just a whole lot of things going on in that house. After our neighbor passed away, I actually had seen my neighbor walking around in my driveway, which she was the original person that built the house. Her husband and her had built the house, so this was originally her house. And she was walking around in my driveway. After like days after she passed away of a heart attack, she was walking around my driveway. I was freaked out. I locked my doors and I went in my bedroom and freaked out. My neighbor came over and said she saw a little girl with short black hair standing outside and ran away when she saw her pull in. There was just a lot going on in that house. I never messed with the Ouija board in the house. My husband refuses to let me play with the Ouija board ever. He refuses, and he will not touch it. He's terrified of it. So, before you guys even ask, no, I will not mess with the Ouija board in the house. He will not allow it. Nor do I want to, because I do have children now. I wouldn't want to upset something and open a door to something that might harm my children or myself or my husband. So then after that house, we moved back here again. And you guys all know the story of here, because I have told you, and I am taking you now on my journey of creepy paranormal stuff. If I wake up in the middle of the night hearing a noise or something goes on, I will try to get the camera as fast as I possibly can and take you on this journey with me. Maybe we will catch something. I had a couple people who have lived in this house with John's dad that have told me that they've heard or felt something in this house. It's not too creepy, but it's creepy enough, right? My cousin had come over and said that somebody tried to open the bathroom door on her a couple times. She thought it was me, and it wasn't. Let's see. Somebody jiggles this door handle and opens this door all the time. Logan said he's seen a man in his room, and Caitlin said she's seen somebody in her mirror in her room. I'm uncomfortable about the bedroom that I'm going to soon be moving into. I'm uncomfortable about that room. I don't like it without the lights on. I can't go in the bathroom without the lights on. The basement, you know all about the basement. I will try to get more video of the basement whenever I can. I don't like going down there, but I do have to move stuff up here, so from the basement, and I have to clean, so spring cleaning's coming soon. So I'm sure once we start like remodeling and stuff, it's probably gonna wake some stuff up, and I guess it's just me as well. But we've both heard noises, and the dogs bark for no reason and all sorts of stuff, so yeah. So anyways, if you guys have some fun paranormal stories, let me know. Share them with me, because I just absolutely love anything paranormal, and me and Christine are planning on going on a journey to do more paranormal videos. Like we had explained in our other video, with the more expensive places that you had to pay for, we're not going to be able to do those unless, you guys help us a little bit. If you guys want us to do those. I mean, we're not asking you don't have to, but if you guys would like us to go certain places, we're going to need some help, because we do have to pay for our own gas, and we have to pay to get into those places and stuff like that. And, it does take time and money to do these kind of videos. So, I mean, we do them for you, but it's a little expensive on our end. So, but we are planning on going to a few places. My husband and his friend know of quite a few places. His friend's dad's house is actually very haunted, and I'm wondering if he'll actually let us. I'm actually wondering, sorry, I heard something. I'm actually wondering if he might let us go in there. I don't know. Also, I want to take a journey around the cemetery where my sister is buried, due to the fact that I want to go on an adventure and just see if we see anything, but also because I actually love going to cemeteries. They don't creep me out as long as it's not at night. I won't go at night. Plus, a lot of cemeteries nowadays won't let you go at night anyways. But truthfully, I mean, it's very peaceful in a cemetery. It really is. But like I said before in our other video, I would have to do it discreetly, just because of the sole fact that if somebody's visiting their loved ones, they don't want some weirdo walking around with a camera. There's quite a few places we can go that are free. We're gonna do as much as we can. I do know that the haunted hotel that we were talking about before, it's going to roughly be $150 to $200 to be able to do that one. I would have to schedule it ahead of time. I have to put a deposit down on the room. And also we would need, stuff to sleep, and we'd have to pay gas money for somebody to take us and drop us off. Because if we're gonna stay at the haunted hotel, I really don't want us having a way to get away. I want us to not chicken out and run away, Also, if we do the haunted hotel, I'm pretty sure they have free Wi-Fi there, so we would be able to do possibly a live show while at the haunted hotel, and then you guys could see if you could see something as well. Wouldn't that be awesome? Would you like that? Well, let me know in the comments below if you would like that. But that place is said to be haunted by the owner and operator that had passed away. She has her own room there that we can get. That is also why it's more expensive, because for one night because of the fact that we are going to get Suzanne's room. So yeah, that's what we want to do. There's a couple other places that we were talking about, like there's a lighthouse that's supposedly haunted by a haunted cat, but it's also a museum, so again, that costs money, but you would get two things in one. You get us venturing through a museum and hunting for a ghost at the same time. There's a castle that is free that we can go to, and we could do like a little ghost hunt and hiking video all in one. Yeah. The one asylum place, I don't know if they're still doing tours there. I know there was a lot of stuff that happened in that place. I don't know if they closed it down to the public or not. There's also the Garfield house. I have to check and see how much the tours are there, but you have to pay for an actual tour to go through that house, but it is indeed haunted as well. I will do more research on that. If you guys would like us to go to the Garfield house, let us know, because then we could plan it and try to do it. But like I said, we would have to get the funds together because it's just a little extra money that we both don't have right now to spend. So we would have to plan it and everything and try to get the money up. Let's see. I don't know what else there is. But yes, let me know, guys, what your take is on this. It seems like a lot of you are really interested in my haunted abode and the ghost hunting idea. So let us know if that's what you want us to do, if you guys would like that, if you would enjoy it. Also, I mean, a lot of it's going to have to start happening probably in the springtime for the more outdoorsy stuff, just because of the fact that we are supposed to be getting snow here soon, and it's cold and stuff. So, and also because of our health, we can't do a whole lot of walking as of right now. So right now we're just in the planning stage, and if we can do a couple places, we will. We'd actually talked about doing some ghost hunting in Christine's basement. Due to the fact that she had seen the shadow figure in her basement, and also, well, I don't think she'll want to do her bedroom because she was already creeped out enough about the hello in her bedroom, but we'll probably do her basement because she did see the shadow figure in there, but I don't know. I'll have to talk to her more on that. Also, there's a store that's supposed to be haunted. Now, whether or not we're going to be able to film in there, I don't know, due to the fact that it's an operating business and people do shop there, but it used to be an old theater that was torn down, and then they built this store on top of where the theater used to be, and they said that some of the ghosts had inhabited the store. So yeah, that's what we're planning. We're planning on doing that. And also, I'm going to try to do my Freaky Fridays again. I'm going to try after the holidays to get my router out of the basement and get it hooked up so I can do more research when I'm just chilling on the couch and whatnot, and be able to do the research so I can bring back Freaky Fridays. Because I know you guys really enjoyed Freaky Fridays, but it's just a pain in the butt to sit there on that computer and hurt my back, so because I have to bend over this little TV stand at the moment with a chair. Because I don't have my office set up at this time. So I want to at least get my router so I can sit on the couch and do the research there. And I'd be able to do it when the kids are like watching TV or playing a video game. I'd be able to do my research then. So hopefully by the beginning of the year, I will be able to bring back Freaky Fridays as well. Me and Christine are going to try and do Saturdays together and take turns alternating Saturdays. But we shall see if that's able to happen. It should happen, but because of the fact that we tried this before and it was unable to happen due to my schedule and everything, we're gonna try it out first before we do make any big commitments. We're gonna try and see if this is gonna work first. And if it works, then maybe we'll make some bigger announcements on joining together to make videos together. Yeah. So I will talk to you lovelies later. I hope you enjoyed my ghost stories, and if I have any more little happenings happening, again, that box is focusing on that chair. What is it seeing over there besides my coat? Is it thinking my coat is a person? That's a little weird. Anyways, I will talk to you lovelies later, and if you guys have any more ideas, comments, anything, leave them in the comments. I will read them. I always do. And yeah, if you want us to do some more haunted tours or whatnot, thumbs up the video. And like I said, let's get on this paranormal journey, shall we? Doodle.